Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto live stream. Yes, guys, we just got some new notification that some news in the Ripple v SEC lawsuit came out, and you guys already know I am excited to help you guys most likely explain it a little bit. All right, or help you understand a little bit. So what we're going to be doing is looking at the new document which just came out about 4 minutes ago. Ripple filed a letter requesting that 3 additional documents be reviewed in camera based on a privilege log provided by the SEC after the August 31st telephonic conference, including an email chain. This is very interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. So I am quickly sharing this over in the Discords and over in Telegram. And then we can definitely get started right here by just covering what exactly went down. I actually forgot to share my previous video on Telegram too, but it'll work. All right, there we go. All right, perfect. So hopefully you guys are all here. 64-bit crypto says I got a notification. Did you guys get a notification? And here, once more, I see somebody says, can you stop with the breaking? No, it is breaking news. It just came out and it's a lawsuit update, so we call it breaking news. All right, let's check it out. Let's read. Dear Judge Nedburn, we write on behalf of defendants Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, and Ripple Labs in connection with the court's in-camera review of documents identified on Appendix A to defendant's motion filed on August 10th of 2021. And we have docket number 289, but we can already kind of get where this is from, right? The document identified on Appendix A represents a sample of entries from the SEC's privilege logs submitted as of the date of the filing that, based on the descriptions provided by the SEC, appear to be most relevant to the claims and defenses in this case. The court held oral argument on this motion August 31st. Okay, summary already. This first part is basically, there was a couple of back and forwards, right? There was a motion at first, which is basically a motion where Ripple asked the SEC to hand over a lot of information. It actually goes down a couple of months backwards, but you guys get the picture. That was the most final motion about deliberative process privilege. Now, on August 31st, there was basically this hearing, and Buddy says, bad timing on going live right now. Brad is live on Fox discussing the Ripple case. I didn't know he was actually discussing the case. I thought he was just talking about Ripple himself. But we'll get, I mean, I can't stream that anyway. So, again, it's a live stream. You can always, whatever, man. I try my best. So, too bad the timing isn't perfect. But, you know, we got the stuff. So, on August 31st, there was basically this hearing. And a hearing, in the easiest terms, is basically a place where the judge, Ripple, and the SEC come together to discuss the specific motion that started on August 10th, which was once more was Ripple asking the SEC to hand over the information. Now, the court had held an oral argument on that date and ordered the SEC, again, this is our last conclusion, to provide the court on September 14th with a document listed in Appendix A for an in-camera inspection. So the documents which are pre-specified, they have to send the court, so the court can basically, you know, on her own, inspect whether or not the SEC is hiding this information from the public, and it's basically justifiable, right, with a thumbs up. Or if they're hiding stuff where it actually should be, public. Now, 2 days after the hearing and the court order, on September 2nd, the SEC provided defendants with an 8 privilege log with 19 new entries, and we respectfully request that the court add 3 of those new entries to the body of documents Your Honor will review in camera. So, as it currently stands, what I perceive as to what we're reading, and again, guys, I see that Brad Garlinghouse right now is live, but again, this lawsuit news just came out right now. That's all I'm doing. We cannot actually show a Brad Garlinghouse live stream on my live stream. If you want to watch that, it's completely fine. You can always watch this back or do it the opposite way. It doesn't really matter that much, guys. Now, what I perceive is that the SEC added a couple of days after the hearing went down, extra lists of documents of things that they basically had hidden. They just gave extra information as to what they've kept away in a privilege log, because a privilege log basically shows what is hidden and under what reason, right? And so since there was actually quite a significant number of things in there, Ripple wants to add some stuff because, well, even though the court basically discussed and concluded something on the 31st, a couple of days afterwards, the SEC put up newer things, newer privileged documents, or at least in the list form. So, again, that's why Ripple's not saying, hey, the SEC only later revealed to everybody that they're hiding more information. We still want to get some stuff with that, but that's not it though, right? Because again, Ripple was ultimately going to get every single document, or at least a lot of the documents anyway, if the judge in the in-camera review that she's doing right now found some stuff that was already, quote-unquote, not privileged, if you guys get the idea. Now, the only interesting part, in my own opinion, is the fact that Ripple added another couple of, basically documents to this, because if you think about it, it's pretty strange, right? Why are these documents so important that Ripple wants to add these 3 out of the list to what the judge is to review? Because again, mind you, the judge right now has a small number of documents that she's reviewing. She's looking at those, and then she's basically going to, how can you say that? She's basically going to, how can I say it in the easiest fashion? She's going to then take that information and determine if any of this stuff was bad and the SEC didn't make a good justification, then we look further. If it was all good, then we stop it. Ripple wants these 3 to be added to that list of the initial glance, basically. Now, the descriptions of 3 of these documents from the belated produced privilege log suggest they may be highly relevant to the case. 2 relate to meetings that the SEC had with law firms to discuss the unprecedented confusion in the market regarding the SEC's view on the status of digital assets under the federal security laws. And the 3rd is an email chain concerning discussions with a third party from defendants, understand received guidance from the SEC to analyze its digital asset under the framework set forth in Director William Hinman June 14, 2018 speech. So, straight off the bat here, guys, these 2 things are extremely relevant. At least that's our opinion, and that's what 99% of this world thinks. However, the SEC seems to say, no, this stuff you definitely don't have to see because it's not relevant enough and it intrudes our privacy, basically, which, again, all of us think is freaking BS. Well, we can't do anything ourselves. We have to just stay calm, watch it unfold, all this, all this drama. You guys are saying Brad's audio got cut? All right. But I really would like to see this stuff, though, right? And so I can understand that Ripple added these things to the list, because if the SEC is also hiding that, if the judge sees it, she might be thinking, there's definitely a lot of stuff in here that Ripple and the public just need to see. Now, let's go on, though, because that's all my own opinion. We can't discuss that too much. Had this privilege log been provided to defendants before August 10th, of course Ripple would have put it in to say that we also want to see that. However, the SEC was basically too late, and after they already put up their motion, put all the info out, they finally gave the privilege log. And that was actually a really big dispute in the past as well. Ripple said when this entire motion was going on, and specifically the hearing, that the SEC basically agreed to give over privilege logs, which were ordered in, I believe, April 6th already, like a long time ago, like months prior. I think the judge already ordered it all the way back then. That privilege logs need to be given. There was basically a fight and another fight and another fight. And in those meet and confers which Ripple and the SEC had, it was said that the SEC gives the privilege logs, but just really, really slowly in their own time, basically, which is really hurtful to Ripple, obviously, as well as it currently stands right now. Yeah, Ripple couldn't basically ask for all this stuff, so that was kind of annoying. And by the way, guys, make sure you press the like button if you enjoy these things. I know Brad is talking right now, all right? Can't do anything about it. I try my best anyway to give you guys the most quality information. Now, indeed, if the SEC had provided the privilege log any time in advance of the hearing, defendants would have asked the court to include these 3 in their inspection. Instead, defendants had to ask the SEC voluntarily to include the documents in its September 14th submission to the court. The SEC filed its brief, number 355, without responding to this request, and the next day the SEC indicated that it would not submit these documents for the court's in-camera review, absent of a specific directive from the court, September 15th, later from Elizabeth Goody to defendants. Accordingly, defendants respectfully asked the court to order the SEC to submit these 3 additional documents for an in-camera review. And the conclusion being, guys, they want to hide stuff. That's the only period I can put here. They want to hide some stuff they most likely know. If they add it to the list of what the judge can look through, it might have some critical information, which is going to allow the judge to say, yes, the SEC made an over assumption of saying, no, all this stuff is privileged, and so Ripple can get some insights into at least some of your documents. They want to keep that as hidden and as secret as possible. Because again, guys, I'm not holding a grudge against the SEC for trying that. This is a lawsuit, not a kid's game. It's not a small little fun battle, all right? So of course they're trying their best to hide the most important stuff. Yet again, think about it, guys. Think about it. It is two of these three documents relate to meetings that the SEC had with the law firms. We don't know which ones, but the law firms, to discuss the unprecedented confusion, we all know about that, in the market regarding the SEC's view on the status of digital assets under the federal security laws. Guys, yesterday I had a talk with Jeremy Hogan. Hopefully you guys all saw it in my video. It was very, very nice. It was very, very insightful. But one of the things which we discussed in there too was that there's a very big benefit in for SEC employees to keep things vague. And by the way, that video is right here on my channel. You might want to check that out. So if it's very beneficial for the SEC to keep things vague, which we can now definitely conclude, it's very logical that they would like to hide some stuff like that. Because if the judge sees, the SEC knew that the market was very confusing, Ripple might tie that back into not getting fair notice, because if even the SEC was discussing with their law firms, if it's not falling under the attorney-client privilege, basically, because that might be so. But if even the SEC officially with their lawyers thought that it wasn't clear, yet they said Ripple should have known, that's vague, right? And I know there's an objective standard. However, the objective standard can, I think, be really kind of talked about more clearly now, because if the SEC was needing to get advice from their lawyer about whether things were not vague enough, basically, so clear enough, or if they thought themselves, hey, it's actually very vague, and discuss that with the lawyers, we would like to know. And also, what law firms were this, right? I think that's also interesting to know, to kind of see what the connections are with some of the SEC members specifically. And the third one is an email chain, so not actually a document, but just emails going back and forward, talking with a third party. It's concerning discussions with a third party whom defendants understand, again, just what Ripple thinks, received guidance from the SEC to analyze its digital asset under the framework set forth in William Hinman's speech. Okay, so what Ripple's assuming is that this company, which the SEC had connections with and talked to, they received guidance which were based upon William Hinman's June 14, 2018 speech. And if that's the case, then that basically means that the speech that William Hinman had in 2018 was a little bit more important than might meet the eye. Because the SEC keeps saying, no, that speech does not make any guidance on the market. No, it's just something for our own person, blah, 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 blah. Well, if this is the case, then that might change up a little bit as well. All right? So that's the long and short of it, guys. That's the lawsuit document that just came out. So I don't want to take you guys for too long. Hopefully you all learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the update. I know Brett Galley has his talker right now. I saw Gasparino talk about it like crazy over on Twitter. Let's see if we can find him right here. Gasparino. He's been tweeting it out like a madman. But again, I don't want to actually stream any of this stuff because I'm not sure if it's going to be fine to do, basically. However, he's gone. He might already be back in. I'm not even sure how to watch it, actually. I'm not sure how we can watch this Brad Galley House stream. Because I'm not sure if it's copyrighted or not. Like, I don't want to get in trouble for showing any of that stuff. Is it over now, guys, or what happened? Hey, John actually talks about this too. Letter just filed by Ripple attorney asking the court to review 3 additional documents in the in-camera review. One document relates to an email chain regarding discussions with a third party that received guidance from the SEC. Who could it be? Notice that the SEC would not voluntarily agree to provide these 3 documents to the court for her in-camera review. Yeah, we also concluded that indeed. Very, very peculiar. I actually missed one thing now. I think he said actually one thing. Quote, concerning discussions with a third party whom defendants understand received guidance from the SEC. Yeah, okay, that's the same thing. Brad held his ground. It was good. It's over? Okay. Okay. We're coming back now. Okay, that was 8 minutes ago, and it's over now. I need to know where I can check it out. Is that here? There we go. I think it might be on here, huh? Imran says, what's up? What's up, my friend? What's up? Let me quickly see if I can... I'll duplicate it. Let me try to find if I can see the stream and if you can actually watch it back in hindsight. I'm gonna press it real quick. The banking.senate, or is this just a different link? No, this is the Gary Gensler link to the Senate. How can we watch the stream itself? Is there any easy way? Okay, he posted the link, maybe? It says, no cable. Please post on Twitter or YouTube. He says, I'll post a link. Thank you, Felon from the UK. How do we get to see the interview, actually? How did you guys watch this Brad Garlinghouse interview that just went down? If you guys tell me, I'll watch it and I'll report on it later tonight. Leighton says, there was an article on eToro going public later this year. eToro lists XRP. eToro have been in contact with the SEC. Really, Leighton? Really? There's an article on eToro going public later this year. How do you know that it's going public later this year then? How does that work? Do you work for eToro or what is that? And guys, if you watched the Brad Garlinghouse interview that just went down, how did you watch it? What did you miss? There was a new lawsuit document that just came out where Ripple is basically asking the SEC to include 3 very key documents into the in-camera review, which is basically the Leighton. I don't think you can paste the link in the chat box. Which is basically the judge looking at the entire list of documents that the SEC was trying to hide, claim privileged. She's going to go over those and explain which parts she thinks are true and which ones she thinks aren't. Where do you watch the Gasparino live? I'm wondering the same thing. Where do you guys watch it? Because it's over now, you guys said, but where did you watch it to begin with? Because do I have to turn on a freaking television? Because it's on Fox Live, right? But people said cable. Fox Live Gasparino. Let me see what I can find. Let us see what the Dusty BC can find. Okay, we're just going to go to Fox News, I guess, huh? Let's see. No, Charlie Gasparino last parts are all the way back April 9th. So we're not going to find it on there. How can we find it, guys? Let's type in Brad Garlinghouse. Brad Garlinghouse. Let's try. We have a video on YouTube, but I don't think I think it's something else. I think it's just an announcement. I'm not sure if this guy covered it. Oh yeah, this guy covered it here. There's one guy. XRP talk and speculation. This guy on YouTube showed it. I'm seeing. He's showing the Garlinghouse video, though, I see. I'm not sure, again, I'm not sure exactly where he got it from, and I'm not sure, guys, because you got to consider, right? My channel is potentially a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if we're going to get taken down because, again, you guys already know YouTube doesn't like me too much. I don't want to mess around with copyright, all right? I just don't. I don't. However, I can try to look for it, of course. And then just watch it, and I'll give you guys the rundown. And I can talk over some small clips. It depends also on how long it is. If it's, for example, 5 minutes long, it's going to be a lot easier than if it's 30 minutes. You got to Google. I went on Google, but I found a YouTube link. Send it to me. No, it was live. You got to go to Google. Okay, you're saying... Yeah, but... We'll be interviewed by Eleanor Terrett. Okay, let's see if we can actually see it on Eleanor Terrett's Twitter. No. Guys, how in the world have you found... Okay, I'm just going to watch Fox Business. Maybe it's on their Twitter. 29 minutes, 59 minutes. You guys need to tell me how in the world you find a thing like this. By the way, if you guys are sending links in the chat box, it might get blocked by YouTube automatically. So maybe a lot of you guys have already sent it like twice or 5 times, thinking Dusty, this dumbass, not seeing it. How? Let's see if anybody says it right here. Go to free. Let me see what that is. Okay. Oh, that's okay. I see what you mean. You can watch things over on there. All right. I'm not going to press it just quite yet because I don't know exactly what it is. But I'll check it out then. I will make sure that is fine. I'm going to watch it and I'll give you guys some feedback. I might include a couple of clips if there's some cool stuff in there. Because the way I'm seeing it right now, Garling House has only been on there for a couple of minutes, not too long, not more than 15 minutes. Oh, that was maybe because he got taken down. I'll watch it and I'll give you guys the rundown. All right, don't worry about it. I got you. And a fun thing, you know, I was actually one of the guys who clipped this like the first second it came out. Because I was watching that and I think we were also live and I was like laughing like a freaking madman. A little fun historical background. See that little clip right there? Fox Business Brad on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. I found a YouTube video that has it in there. I can watch that, of course. He's talking. At least I heard for a part now. He's talking about the oil as basically the oil example that we've talked about. But And William Frank Music. This is the thing I see very often. Brad also said on live that XRP was pre-mined before Ripple existed. So how is it a security? Yes, that's very true. However, the thing which they don't say, the SEC right now, or Ripple for that matter, the allegation there is basically that even though the XRP was pre-mined, Ripple sold this XRP for an ongoing system that they're building. So with Ethereum, they had an ICO, which was bad. Yeah, concluded. However, the system was then pretty quickly done. The platform was built. Boom. Final product. With Ripple, what they're saying, what the SEC is alleging, is that even right now, Ripple is still selling XRP, so it doesn't really matter when it was made officially. They're still selling XRP to build out the ecosystem or to build out the platform. So they're basically just still saying, Ripple, sneaky game, but you're still in the wrong. So how can it be a security? Following the normal rules, we don't really know. However, the SEC has a very strange definition of what is clear. So I can't really conclude for you guys that. Revved Up says XRP is just going to explode. I look at Brad Garlinghouse and see Apple in its early days. Ripple and XRP are going to monumental. Yeah. I mean, I'm with XRP for the long haul. I don't really care. All this intermediary stuff is making me kind of sick to the stomach. Partially for the fact that it's just all so much noise where it's not necessary. You guys all know it too. We're going to get to some crazy ultimate result anyway. So why do we bother so much with the small itty-bitty bits, huh? It's all in our mind, though, from a certain perspective. Because if we were 100% sure that they win, then why do we update ourselves? Huh? Well, it's to buy more, obviously. But then again, we're also curious just how this is going to play out. Just what type of turn the SEC is going to give. Just how this, just how that. It's all just so peculiar. And we're right in the middle of it. I keep telling people, we are the earliest parts of crypto, basically. We're so early in all of this. People often say, oh, but Dusty, there's millions of people who've already invested in crypto. Yes, but the fact that right now a lawsuit is going on about fair notice shows people, at least I think it should show people, that this is just the start of the start. If, or once I should say, the Ripple case is settled, as I talked about with Jeremy Hogan, they're most likely going to appeal if Ripple, for example, wins on a fair notice basis. They just have to. So things might take longer. But again, think about it, guys. If Ripple were to win on fair notice, it's almost impossible for the SEC to sue any other crypto company from here on forward for what they've done in the past. And mind you, that lawsuits like this are the beginning of an entirely new phase, which again, I all see as exciting stuff. Charles is live on Twitter. Really? How do I see that? How do I see that? Let's quickly check it out. Charles, going live on Twitter, huh? Oh, there we go. All right. Once more, guys, you just go watch this. I'll retweet it. I don't want to actually stream any of this stuff because even though I think I could, you guys maybe understand, right? I don't want to stream anybody else's stuff. So once more, it's here. Check out Charles Gasparino, his stuff over on Twitter. He's doing a very splendid job. First of all, I don't want to take his credit. Second of all, I don't know if it's allowed to stream over him. So I'll just leave the link for you guys to go check it out. He's doing a wonderful job in the entire case. Got to give him some credit where it's due, you know? So, once more, I retweeted the live stream. Victor says, save the juicy stuff for tonight with Eleanor Terret. Oh, this is Eleanor as well, so they talk mostly about what they just discussed with Ripple, huh? All right. I'll just have to go look over it all, guys. I'll be watching some... I wanted to go to the movies now. What should I do, guys? What should I do? Should I go to the movies and then watch it? It'll be a late video. maybe I should watch it first and then go. It's already 10 p.m. What do I do? Whatever. We'll see. I'm gonna watch all this stuff. I'll get you the video to you guys as soon as I possibly can, with all the information that you're gonna need. Conclusion for right now is we read the new document, which was definitely kind of interesting. It talked about how mostly the SEC has been trying to hide some stuff in a really sneaky way, really childish manner, if you were to ask me. But again, it's war, it's a lawsuit, so we can understand. Then we kind of looked into the new speech from Bragg House, or the interview, I should say, with Charles Gasparino, and now apparently there's also an interview going on. We talked about some ethics, we talked about some smaller parts in the midst, nothing too significant, nothing too crazy. Dragon says, watch this movie later. You're right, I guess it's all kind of a movie, isn't it? It's all a show, huh? Kind of is, yeah, you're right. All right, guys, I'll check it out. See you guys again a little bit later tonight. I got a lot of stuff coming. I also have a new iPad, so maybe I'm going to show you guys some videos from the iPad. I'm not sure yet. A lot of fun stuff is going to be coming. See you guys again in another crypto video later today.